It's just me behind the scenes.
Behind the
there's
scenes
Adam
footage.
All right.
And the super luxurious conference room here.
All right, we're about to do the real deal here. Real deal.
It's the real deal. We're in front of the scenes. What's the opposite of behind the scenes?
It's in the scenes.
It's in the scenes?
Yeah, because there's the scenes where you watch.
Yeah, that's right.
And there's the people behind the scenes that
are
make
doing
things happen
doing all
for
this
the
stuff.
people.
So we really probably shouldn't say behind the scenes when we turn on Facebook Live, because we already kind of are in the scene. Yeah.
Well,
so we've been messing that up.
We're envisioning that the scenes is the audio recording of the podcast.
I kind of thought the whole thing was the scene, the video and audio behind. So yeah.
Well, that's fair. I'm just telling you what.
If we wanted to do behind the scenes, we'd actually have someone like filming us turning on the Facebook Live. That would really be behind the scenes.
We need somebody else to click.
Yeah.
We'd be filming. Wait, if you film the person behind the scenes, that's still the scenes then.
Well, if they were filming us before we hit Facebook Live, that would really be behind the scenes.
Because you would have to see them film us.
Somebody would have to film them filming us.
But then they'd be in the scenes.
This is like a house of mirrors, dude. All right, we're getting pretty deep. Yeah, it's like a rabbit hole or something, or a wormhole. What are they? I think they call it a rabbit hole. Like from the what was it, like from Alice in Wonderland, I think, where you go down into the rabbit hole and then it takes you into some crazy world. Next thing you know, you got like chess pieces talking.
Forget it.
The Cheshire Cat. You getting to watch Alice in Wonderland when you were young?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
I don't know what people know about it anymore.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's losing its screen time to Star Wars and stuff. So.
Star Wars. All right. I want to ask you about Star Wars. You like Star Wars?
I do.
All right. This is IBAS Radio. You're here with Adam and Zach.
Yeah.
Here's the things you need to know about me and the things you need to know about Zach. About me, in particular, dude, I can't stop looking at my hair every time I'm with you. Here's what you know to me. I've got 3 kids. I own a business. We got 11 employees. We've been growing pretty fast. My hair is just in shambles. And I'm doing more and more videos, like trying to put out content. Just hair's a mess. I wish I could style it, but I don't have enough to even style it. Other than that, I guess that's all you really need to know about me.
You want my opinion?
Yeah, I do.
What if you started wearing hats?
What kind of hat? Just a baseball hat?
Just go to a place that has a bunch of hats. You know, like a hat store.
Yeah. Okay.
And just sample a bunch of hats, see what works for your head.
I can't really wear a baseball cap to work necessarily, but I could try to wear some kind of cool business hat, I guess.
Just try some different stuff.
Like a fedora?
Does your head look good bald completely?
No, because I got a small head, dude.
Small head.
If you're gonna go bald, you gotta have a big head. You gotta have big.
It's true.
A big, strong head on your shoulders.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna introduce the whole world to a phrase that my friends and I came up with that may have already existed.
All right, go ahead.
Bulbous.
Yeah, bulbous. No, that exists.
All right, so
I don't have a bulbous head.
Completely legit.
Yeah.
So bulbous, right, is the like rear part of your head.
Yeah.
And most black people have good bulbous. Good bulbuses?
Bulbi. Yeah. My dad looks good bald. My brother has shaved his head. He looks good bald. I remember when I was growing up, I used to go to my friend's house, and he had 2 little brothers. I don't know how these little brothers got so good at making fun of people, but these kids used to just light me up. And they used to make fun of me for 2 things. One, every time I came over, they'd be like, "Dang, Adam, how come your nose looks bigger every time I see you?" It's true, because I got like a schnoz now. Yeah, and so they were early adopters of the fact that I have a big nose. And so they'd be, "Dude, is your nose bigger? Like, what's going on with your nose?" They just tear me up. And the other thing they'd always razz me about, they're like, "Dude, your head's too small for your body. Like, you're super tall, but your head is tiny. What's your deal?" Just give me a super hard time. And they always used to make fun of me too, telling me that my feet stunk. And my feet didn't stink, but they would just say it to give me a hard time. Man, they were some punks. They were some real punks. So, anyways,
alrighty.
I don't look good with a bald head, so I don't know. If I'm gonna wear a hat to work or to business meeting, you can't really wear a hat to business meetings.
You can if you're Neil Caffrey from White Collar.
Does he wear them in the meetings? I don't know who Neil Caffrey is, but he wears them in the meetings. I'd never seen a dude wearing a hat in a meeting.
Well, I guess as long as you could walk in with it
and then take it off,
and you get that first impression of like, "Oh, nice."
Yeah, but
and
then
then you take it off.
But then when I take it off, there's like a comparison. It's like, dude, I remember this guy with the hat, but now I'm looking at this stupid hair. They're just telling me, like, you know what? It's okay if you wear the hat. I know it's not polite, and that's why you felt like you had to take the hat off. This is what the people I'm with in the meeting are going to say. But now that we see your hair, go ahead and put the hat back on. It's distracting for us to have to look at your terrible hair. It's probably not as bad as I'm making it.
I don't know. I'm out of opinions now.
Yeah, it's probably not as bad as I'm making it. But if I had your hair, man, I'd never wear a hat. I would not ever be in the vicinity of a hat store. I'd always be hatless. And I would just be running my fingers. Like every time I was in a meeting, I'd just be like, that's very interesting. Let me just consider that. And I'd just be running my hand. Through. Yeah. Dang, dude. All right. Good times. Your dad had good hair when he was younger? I know you said he loves hair.
I think so. He's been losing his hair ever since I was born.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
But
I've never seen a picture of him when he was young with his hair. My dad had bad hair his whole life. He never had good hair. I've seen pictures of him. We have the same kind of hair. All right, man.
My dad's family has thin hair. My mom's family has thicker hair. So I have like a little in between.
All right. Well, it's like one every 15 shows we got to do like 6 to 10 minutes on hair. I think it's an important thing, honestly. I really do. For men who are getting older and are starting to lose their hair, like hair starts to become a kind of a bummer. Like even when I go to get my hair converted, I'm just going to get off this topic and I'm just keep it going. But even when I go get my hair cut, that should be a joyous time. You get your hair cut, you're looking good. You're looking sharp. I don't even get the pleasure from that because it really never ends up looking that good for me. Last time I went, I tried to get a different haircut. It looks stupid, man. I can't make it happen. All right. Anyhow, so what, you like Star Wars? What do you like about Star Wars? I know people love it. I've never been able to get into it. What is it? What's good about it?
That it's like its own. It's like the most expansive fantasy universe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the most like detail and planets that have been, explored and.
So when you get together with your buddies who are also into Star Wars, do you guys talk like fantasy Star Wars stuff? Do you conjecture about what the meanings of certain scenes were?
Theories.
So you're into that, huh?
Yeah.
Man, I have never been able to understand what that was all about. Do you do that with other stuff too, or just Star Wars? Or are there a bunch of like movies and fantasy world, probably video games you guys do that talk about that?
Yeah, I haven't played much video game in the last couple of years, but
okay.
But
what other big fantasy franchises are there? I know Star Wars. People love Harry Potter. I know that. What else is there? Is it just Star Wars? I mean, the thing that's cool about Star Wars, man. So have you watched the original Star Wars?
You mean like 4 through 6?
Whatever. I don't know where they fit, but the original ones from the 70s.
Yeah.
And you like those?
Mm-hmm.
Those are good?
Oh, yeah.
They fit in with because those were...
Well, it's all built off of that.
I know it's all built off of that, but the style of film was so different.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, and how many are there total?
There's 8 of the, saga movies, like the real deal.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 stories, I think.
Okay.
There's the new series called Mandalorian, which only 3 episodes have been released so far.
What's that? That's on Hulu?
It's on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus, okay. You have Disney Plus?
Mm-hmm.
That's new. That just kind of came out, right?
Just came out.
Is it good?
Yeah.
It's got all the Disney movies on it?
Everything like Disney's ever made.
It's
got old stuff.
What does it cost?
It's $7. You can get a bundle with Hulu plus Disney Plus and ESPN Plus for $13.
And what do you get to see on ESPN Plus? Like every ESPN program?
I don't know. I haven't checked it out, but
all right.
But the deal is it's free because either way, if you had Hulu and Disney Plus, you'd be paying for both anyways.
Okay, $13.
Yeah.
For Hulu and Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well that's a no-brainer. You gotta get
That's
that.
a no-brainer.
That's a no-brainer, dude. You gotta get that.
You gotta.
All right.
It's got all new National Geographic stuff on there.
You like National Geographic stuff?
Yeah,
All right. So you're up on the whole Star Wars. The whole Star Wars, what would be the word? Like the whole saga.
The galaxy.
From beginning to end.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens? How does it all end? So
we'll figure that out.
But what happened? So where are you at in episode 8? What's that about? In the 8th movie?
So the 9th one comes out in December.
Okay. So where'd the previous one leave off?
The previous one So they just lost they moved to a new base. It's always a new base. You know,
Okay.
every movie, they destroy the big old planet. So the last one was, they basically built this giant ray into a planet. Okay. And then they destroyed a bunch of planets.
Okay.
But then the rebels destroyed I forget what it's called, but it's the big red thing.
It was good?
Yeah.
The movie was good?
There's a lot of people that hate it because it's new. You know, a lot of people like the old stuff.
Yeah.
And think that
Yeah,
anything
we
new,
talked about this a little bit
regardless,
before.
is dumb.
Yeah.
But I just try to I don't compare the new ones to the originals.
You let them stand on their own?
Yeah, it's like,
And on its own, you say that it was
everything's got its
an
own-
objectively good movie?
Yeah.
All right. I can't. I've never been able to get into sci-fi. Like my brother loves sci-fi. I don't know if he's into Star Wars, but I know he likes the sci-fi genre.
Mhm.
I can't get my head around it at all. I don't know, with the creatures that talk and stuff. Do you appreciate that? Like all the made up aliens and stuff that you see in Star Wars?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You like that? All right. I can't get it's like what was that guy's name? Jar Jar Binks. You remember that guy?
Yes, of course.
You didn't care for him? The look on your face is like Jar Jar Binks. That guy sucks.
You know, he doesn't bother me that
What's your problem with
much.
Jar Jar Binks,
A
dude?
lot of people have.
I know they hated him, but what did they like about him?
They just think he's dumb, and also there's a theory that
I got some bad
he's
news.
a Sith Lord.
I got some bad news. He's a Sith Lord. I got some bad news for everybody who doesn't like Jar Jar Binks because they think he's dumb. Any made-up walking, talking animal is kind of dumb, no matter what. Regardless if he's a Sith
That's
Lord
like
or not.
all Disney shows then.
Well, those at least are like real animals involved in actual
Mhm.
kind of human stories. You know what I'm saying? But to debate whether or not Jar Jar Binks is cool, to me seems a little strange. What are you looking for, man?
So the last one was called The Last Jedi. So
Is he actually the last Jedi? Did he survive? Did whoever this last Jedi is, did they survive or did they not survive?
well, okay, so Luke died.
Luke
in the
died.
last one. Maybe
All right.
spoiler alert. for
Okay,
anyone who
so
hasn't seen it.
Luke was Luke in 4 through 6. In 1 through 3, he's like a little kid, right?
Correct. Well, Anakin,
Anakin, well,
which is Darth Vader.
which is Darth Vader, but
So that's his dad.
Anakin's a kid. So when does he get born? In like
Who, Anakin?
no, Luke, like in 3 or something?
Yeah, so he's born, in 3.
He's born in 3. Then he does his thing in 4 through 6. He dies in 8.
Yeah.
All right. Did he like have any kids or anything? Luke?
Yes, he did.
Okay. And what's up with his son? His son's not a master Jedi?
So that part hasn't been explored.
His son's just like a total disappointment. He didn't become a Jedi. He ended up being
It's-
like
Well, yeah, I
Like-
guess I don't know if
like a
there's
busboy
anything
or
in the
something like
books.
that.
There's probably, if somebody listens to this and is probably more of a Star Wars fan
Yeah.
than I am, they'd probably know. But I don't think it's really been explored.
okay. All
I'm
right.
pretty sure he has. Well, because he does have a wife somewhere out there.
Who?
So
Luke-
for all
Luke
we
does?
know, she has a kid.
How
So
do we know he has a
kid.
wife? Did we see?
In the stories? Because there's a whole.
So is Luke sort of like a drifter? I thought he fell in love with Princess Leia, or is that
that's his sister.
Leia is Luke's sister?
Yeah,
Oh, she falls in love with
Han Solo.
Han Solo. That's right. That's right. Yeah, I remember that now. What are you looking for, man?
All right, so General Hux, First Order. Yeah, it's always the same.
All right.
With Star Wars, they're always in the same
I
battle.
cannot. Dang it, man! I just cannot get my head around Star Wars. I wish I could because people love it so much. I can't even. I don't even really like going to see do you like action movies? Movies with a ton of action?
Not so much.
Because the Star Wars movies are pretty action packed. There's lots of fight scenes and
Yeah,
lots
but-
of people flying around blowing stuff up.
That's true. There's lots of blowing up.
You don't dig the special effects and all that.
I think it's cool. I feel like more so Star Wars is about the story, though.
Okay.
That's.
All right.
I think they've still kept that.
All right. Let me go ahead and do a pitch here.
All right.
Hey,
pitch.
business owners, Star Wars lovers. You need to save some money in your business. We got a service. It's $500, one-time payment. We guarantee you will save you at least $5,000 a year. You want to learn more? You can give me a call at 425-332-5058. extension 108. If not, visit ibasbusiness.com and check out the cost reduction section on the homepage and give me a call. Man, if you know some stuff about Star Wars, you can call me up and enlighten me. And maybe I'll take some money off the cost of the service if you can call me up and tell me what's going on with Star Wars. What do you think? And what's the latest? Give me a call. I'll talk to you about it.
Briefly, before I move on to something else, I think the planet one was 7, and 8 was about Dreadnought, which is this big ship.
Awesome. All right.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Cool. So you and your buddies talk about this. You speculate about it and so forth.
Yeah, it's more so, especially now that Mandalorian's out.
Yeah. Now you have something to talk about like every single week.
Yeah.
All right. Good times, man.
So previously we were talking about NTSI.
Oh yeah. Well, so I wanted to tell you something
All right.
of a practical business nature. So you ever get into watching like Gary Vaynerchuk videos?
No idea what that is.
Okay, he's a dude. All right, he's a dude. He seems like a pretty popular social media expert. I don't like some of his stuff because he cusses a lot. So I don't get into watching his long form stuff, but he's got shorter videos where he talks about a specific specific like social media technique.
Okay.
And those I have been watching over the last couple of days because I really am interested in how to learn how to use LinkedIn better. Because I've heard people say that LinkedIn is like a super great way to network, but I don't know how you're supposed to do it. Because we've been posting videos and we post our podcasts and stuff. And so I'm wondering, like, how do you bridge it? I've been wondering, how do you bridge the gap between posting content and then actually like rolling that forward into a lead for your business so that you can make a sale? So this dude, he's got a video where he calls it like the $1.80 LinkedIn strategy. Now, if you read that, you would think that the $1.80 thing means it costs $1.80. But what he's said, the way he gets to it is he's saying, what you really need to do is you need to start putting in your 2 cents. You know that expression?
Yeah, put in your 2 cents.
Like when you tell someone what you think about it?
Yeah.
So what he's saying is actually what you got to do is, and so he says the $1.80 a day is you leave 90 comments a day. You put in your 2 cents on 90 posts.
90.
That's what he's saying if you really want to crush it on LinkedIn. Like, it probably doesn't take that long to leave 90 posts when you think about it, maybe like 3 or 4 hours. So, but the way I talked to you about going out selling door to door, right? Like if you're going to just walk around for 3 or 4 hours and talk to people, like you could also just try to network on LinkedIn for 3. It's work either way. You're just doing work. So if you think about it, like I'm just doing my job and my job is to find leads.
Right.
All right. So I didn't spend 4 hours, but I'll say I probably have spent 2 hours just commenting on people's posts. All right. I signed up for a free subscription. You should do this too, man. I signed up for a free subscription of the LinkedIn tool called Sales Navigator. I'll pay for it, by the way, if you want to get on that. So Sales Navigator lets you filter out LinkedIn users based on the industry that they're in, how big their company is, what their job title is, like that. So I got a pretty good idea of what types of companies we want to talk to. So I went into Sales Navigator. I narrowed down the field based on like people around here in the Seattle area. All right. And then I got a list of all these people. There's like 11,000 people that meet the criteria that I put in. And so then I just click on each one of their profiles and I look at their recent history. And then I just went onto their posts and started commenting. Okay. So it's pretty straightforward. The good thing is not that many people comment. So I was looking at like a lot of these prospects posts. They post every day and they get like 4 or 5 likes, but no one ever really comments. Okay. So there's this one gal here in town. She owns like a 401k advice business. So we probably serve the same clientele. Like we both help business owners in one way. So I commented on one of her posts and then I just sent her like a message through LinkedIn and said, hey, I was reading your post. It looks like we're kind of in the similar industry. You know, we got like 160 clients. We should hook up. Like we should just talk to each other and see if there's anything I can do for your people or if there's anything you can do for my people. At the very least, we could just get to know each other. And she responded back and I was able to set up a phone call.
Nice. Okay.
So if you're just looking for some practical advice, I think just going to posts on LinkedIn, commenting, and then if you come across somebody but not doing it because I remember before you were talking about how trying to sell stuff makes you feel artificial. So, and what this guy was saying is you shouldn't do any of this stuff in an artificial way. So like, don't just reach out to people for the sake of reaching out to them. Read their posts, figure out what they're all about, and only if you think there actually is like a real possibility there, then reach out to them in an authentic way, not in a salesy way, and just tell them what it is, whatever it is you want to tell them.
Yeah,
and
that's a good idea.
And something else I noticed, man, that I like. So I'm starting to. I've only done a little bit. I already got like one networking meeting set up off of LinkedIn, but I'm thinking I might try to spend a lot of time doing this on LinkedIn, because there's another cool thing that happens, which is just an added benefit. So I'm going through and looking at some of these business owners, and they actually do post cool stuff. So you have to like, so I think the stuff that we post is funny, and I think these podcasts are cool. If somebody were to actually go through our posts and just look at them, like with no ulterior motive, I just want to see what people are putting out, I think that they would find that our podcast is cool and that our videos are funny. And same thing, like I was looking at the profile of this one business owner who his business is in the Internet of Things. Do you know what the Internet of Things is? I had no idea what that was. So he's an Internet of Things programmer for the oil industry.
Okay.
All right. And he's got some interesting posts about how the Internet of Things is going to transform the oil industry. And I love to learn anyways. So I was noticing, like, the other cool thing is you can go on there, you could learn something new. And then like how we're doing, I like that. I like to exchange ideas. Do you like the back and forth of exchanging ideas? Yeah. So I read this article that he referred to, and then I asked him some ideas. Like I asked him some stuff that I actually legitimately wanted to know about based on the article that he shared. And he responded and told me some stuff. So I learned some new stuff. I'm starting to get like a little friendship going with a guy online who eventually, you know, we might be able to do some business together. So I've never interacted on social media. I never have been on Facebook. I've never been on Instagram. This is my first ever experience interacting on social media. And I think I kind of get it. And I see how it could actually work. And if you did it for long stretches, like 3 or 4 hours, I bet you could hook up with some people who you might be able to do business with. Thoughts?
Yeah, that's a good call. I wonder, is that only possible with LinkedIn, or is there ways to do that with other platforms?
I bet it's possible on all platforms. I mean, I think the key thing that I learned is, instead of just being somebody who produces content and hopes people catch on, like you need to go into other people's stuff and comment
and do stuff.
And if you comment, then so already I noticed on LinkedIn, because they give you a little metric, like I already noticed like 4 or 5 people have come and viewed my profile today, which reminds me, we probably got to work on our profile and make it a little bit easier to contact us and like just make it very clear like what we do, in case they visit the profile. It's like, boom, this is what we are. Here's how you can get in touch with us, like that. Because if you go out and comment on other people's stuff, then they check you out. Right? So that was the thing that I never really got my head around. Like, what you actually need to do is not just put out content. You got to go on and check out other people's stuff and comment on it and start to interact with people.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that? I've
heard that that's how you grow your YouTube channel too.
I think that's how you, I mean,
it's probably how you do anything.
It makes sense because like when you go out selling door to door, it's not like people are coming to you. You're going out to them and you're introducing yourself and you're talking to them. You're trying to get to know them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that is the commenting. The good thing for a guy like you is you don't have to actually like go be in someone's office and meet with them face to face. You can just like drop them a note. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to get into that weird, awkward, like, hey, I'm here to talk to you. I want to like get some of your time. And it feels strange, you know? So you might want to try that. And also, you know, we were talking about the other guy who works for us, Kobe. And I think I asked Kobe to start to do that too, because you were saying he needed something to do. Right. So, but that honestly, I will be interested to see how that plays out. But I think I'm going to start spending a bunch of time on LinkedIn, like just getting to know people in the area. It's a good idea. I think it'll work. You should do it too, man. Yeah. And then then what you could do is, if you could set something up like a phone call or, hey, let's get together, I'll go meet them. So that way you don't even have to actually go talk to people in person, unless you want to develop that skill too. Yeah. Would you like to develop that skill, or would you prefer to just be behind the computer and let other people go meet in person?
I think it's something I should develop.
Try to set up some meetings, man. Like, but do it naturally. Do it authentically. Only if there's really something there, and then we'll go together, and we could try to figure out how to turn LinkedIn interactions into like real life business and networking. But it does take hours. You know, like I do think you got to actually put the time in it and look at it as work. It doesn't feel like work. That's the thing, but you have to treat it like work. You know what I'm saying? being on LinkedIn, going down the feed, it just does not feel like you're doing something productive. But maybe it actually works. People say it works.
All right.
All right. So there's some practical advice that I've learned about for anybody who's wondering, like, what are you actually supposed to be doing on LinkedIn? I think that's it.
All right.
All right, man.
So
we only got 5 minutes left. We got to talk about something philosophical. We've talked about something. We've talked about something topical. Star Wars.
Topical,
We talked about some practical business advice.
fantastical.
So maybe this is the new format. We do 10 minutes on something topical. We do 10 minutes of practical business advice. We do 10 minutes on something philosophical. All right, hit me with something philosophical. You got any
So I don't know if this is philosophical, but maybe it is. Here's my question. So regarding the NTSI thing.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So you used to work for them in accounting, correct?
That's correct. And by the way, you know how I got that job?
How?
When I first moved up here from San Diego, I sold my car before I moved up to here from San Diego because it was too stressful to be in traffic.
Right.
I decided I was going to ride my bike everywhere. And I said, I got to find a job that's within biking distance. I rode my bike door to door, asking people if they needed accounting help. And that's how I found the NTSI job. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. All right, so go ahead and ask the question.
All right. So, and then you said, all right, I'm going to do the accounting on my own.
Yep.
Still kept NTSI as a client.
That's right.
And then Brian got in through you.
Brian's my brother. That's right.
Right. So, but you had already had experience managing a business through chocolate.
Yeah.
Business.
Yeah, that's right.
Any other businesses?
Simultaneously, I just had the accounting and the chocolate business going.
All right.
Yeah.
So, does Brian have any additional business owner experience?
Yeah. So Brian lived in Peru for I want to say maybe 13 years or something. My dad and my brother started a business in Peru. This is how I met my wife. Have I ever told you this story?
I think so.
All right.
Yeah.
So my dad and my brother started a business in Peru selling American mining equipment to a big gold mine in Peru.
Gotcha.
My dad found that. That's how my dad is. He's a crazy entrepreneurial kind of guy. So he found this opportunity to sell American mining equipment with a fair trade agreement.
Huh.
So he and my brother started selling equipment to the biggest gold mine in Peru, importing equipment and selling it in Peru. I went down there on vacation. That's how I met my wife. And Brian also has a Peruvian wife. We both married Peruvian women. Yeah, because we were down there. So Brian ran that, and then we started our chocolate business where we buy cocoa beans in Peru. We still do it. You can start helping us. We'll probably buy 60 tons of cocoa beans this year. And he built our whole operation in the jungle in Peru. And he ran a team of 25 workers in Peru where we bought cocoa beans from 400 small farmers, processed all the cacao, and then did a bunch of logistics and stuff to turn it into chocolate. So he's been running a pretty big operation in Peru for the last 10 years. But Peru is a super poor country. He got tired of living in Peru. He wanted to come to the United States. Since we have to hire other people to run the chocolate business in Peru, he came to the United States was looking for a job. And so I did some maneuvering and was able to get him a job as the vice president of operations of NTSI.
So here's my question.
Yeah.
Why didn't you go for the president position in NTSI?
Because I don't really want to be an employee of another company. I don't need to be, and I don't want to be. So Brian's.
But you used to be an employee of NTSI.
Yeah, but that was that'd be 7 years ago.
Gotcha. So
when I moved up here from San Diego, I quit the job that I had in San Diego. So at that point, I had a job and my business in San Diego. I had a pretty small accounting business, and I had the chocolate business. I made enough from the chocolate business to just live, pretty humbly, but I made enough to live. So when we moved up here, it's I got the business, but I'm just going to get another kind of part-time job. So I was just working for NTSI 12 hours a week, just as a extremely part-time accounting position. And then I don't know how it worked out, but my wife told me you should just put up a website for bookkeeping because you did bookkeeping in San Diego and just see what happens. So I had the chocolate business. I was working for NTSI part-time, and I just put up this website. And when I put up the website, because I made the name of the business Issaquah Bookkeeping and Accounting, if somebody would just Google Issaquah and bookkeeping, I naturally showed up as the first result on the search. And so people just started calling me. So over the course of a year, I would say a year or a year and a half, I ended up with like 10 bookkeeping clients in addition to the part-time job and the chocolate business. And when it got to that point, I just went and talked to NTSI. I was like, I don't want to work for anybody anymore. I have this business. Will you guys be my clients? And they said yes. So from that time until the present, I haven't worked for anybody. I've just been a business owner with clients. So, and I don't really want to go back. I would if I had to, I guess. But so that would be one thing. But also, being the president of NTSI is kind of a big job. I wouldn't really have the time to do it justice. You know, you can't be the president of every single company, you know,
unless you're Elon Musk
that you hear about. Yeah, I mean, so I probably, let me rephrase that. Okay, I just humbly, I probably don't have the experience to be, or the intelligence to be Elon Musk. But one thing that Elon Musk I think does have is he has a lot of capital. So he's not spending his own money in most cases. He's a publicly traded company, so he's raised a lot of capital. Mm-hmm. So he's allowed to like fully staff up so that he just works on certain specific high level things. So
gotcha.
If I had enough capital to lose money for a while and stop like doing a lot of the work that I was doing, you know, I could probably be the leader of a bunch of companies. Mm-hmm. But since I'm using my own money, I'm a small businessman. I use my own money. I can't just fully hire as many people as I want to hire.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So that I could just be like, okay, now I'm just being a visionary for NTSI. I'm being a visionary for my accounting business. I'm being a visionary for the chocolate business. Mm-hmm. Like to just do that one role for a bunch of companies. Yeah. I don't really have the resources at this time to transition into that. I probably could if I just was only allowed to focus on one thing for each of these companies. Mm-hmm. I could probably do that. I'm getting to the point where I could do that, but I don't have the capital at this point to like fully staff up and live on it for a while. Because I think Tesla loses money. I don't think Tesla makes money. I'm not sure.
One of his company, maybe it's SpaceX, but one of his companies definitely loses.
I don't know. I think for a long time, Tesla has lost a lot of money. And I think they maybe still do lose money. But investors could see the future. It's like they're not going to lose money forever. And eventually electric cars are going to take over. Yeah. So if you have investors, I don't have any investors, man. I just, whatever's in my bank account is what I have to spend. So if I could just hire another me right now so that he could do all the stuff that I do, and then I could just focus on coming up with ideas, because that's kind of what I'm the best at, is coming up with good ideas. I probably could, but what would you want to do? Would you want to be the president of a company? Do you like the idea of that?
I don't think so.
What's your sweet spot?
I think it would take too much time.
It does. Yeah. So what's your real sweet spot, Zach? We're running over, so maybe we put this off for the next episode.
I think I'd have to find it.
You don't know. You're still trying to figure it out. Yeah. I have some ideas about what I think your sweet spot is. I'll share it with you on the next episode. You're gonna have to suffer.
Wait, you're telling me I won't know? Now I really want to know.
Yeah, next episode. Tune in for the next episode, and you hear me tell Zach what I think is what his sweet spots are. So I guess we'll just sign off for now. Zip it up and zip it out. Zippity doodah.
The scenes.
You're still in the scene. All right.